Hey everybody, Lynn Dalmastro Thompson with Heartfire Healing here. And I'm just wrapping up my day, and I was inspired to go live and share a little bit of a story that happened for me today with a client. So at the end of our session, we were working on getting her booked for the next session, and she started to kind of be very kind of non-committal, a little bit difficult to pin down as far as when her next session would be. And she was saying, her son is starting school and she's starting a new job, and there's kind of all of these different factors at play. And in that moment on the phone with her, I didn't really pinpoint what was going on. But after reflecting on it later, I realized that this is an example of how self-sabotage can come into play in a very sneaky and subtle way. And you may recognize yourself in this sort of a story and in this sort of a situation. So feel free to share with me if this is resonating for you. So a lot of times we say that we want something, and in this case, this is something to do with someone's health. She wants to feel better, she wants to lose weight, and she's working with me as a way to help her body heal. But the problem is that, there's homework to do, there's exploring some inner pieces for herself that needs to happen. There's being committed to the process. So first she was on vacation for a few weeks, and then coming back, now it's like all these other factors are getting in the way. And when I kind of stepped back and explored a little bit for myself what I was observing and what I was seeing going on here in this scenario with her, I realized that there's kind of a wavering here of how much does she really want what she says she wants. Because let's face it, right? Change isn't always easy. Change can be really challenging and difficult. And oftentimes when I work with people, there's some homework involved. I'm not talking hours and hours of homework, but I'm talking some lifestyle changes, especially with this kind of diet and weight and metabolism piece. Like, there are some key things that need to shift in order for her to get the results that she wants. And those things aren't always easy. It's not always easy to, follow through with making some changes in terms of what you're eating or exercising more. And so it's easier to really fall into this pattern of saying, well, I'm on vacation, and then I, have this other life factor that's happening, and then there's this other thing. And the question is, though, if you really, really want something, like you say that you want that thing, if you really want less pain, or if you really want a diminishing of your symptoms, or to heal, or to lose weight, there's going to be some work involved. And when the going gets tough and when the rubber meets the road, you have to actually follow through and want those things. And the thing is, when I work with people, I can't do the heavy lifting for them. It's a partnership. And when there's homework, they have to do their part. So, by kind of putting things off and not staying with a regular schedule, by making excuses of why you can't do certain things and certain homework factors. Yes, there are sometimes things that happen in life, and I totally get that. I'm not saying that there's never a real reason why people can't do something, but a lot of times we can use those things because they're a lot more convenient excuses. So when we are really sitting in that place of looking at what we want, we have to ask ourselves, what am I willing to do to get that result? Am I willing to stick with the schedule? Am I willing to do homework even though it's hard? Am I willing to look at the role that I'm playing actively in this dynamic? Or do I just want to be kind of passively sit by and have someone kind of fix me, which goes back to a video I did a few weeks ago about, someone wanting me to fix her, which is not really what happens in any way, shape, or form. So healing is a process, and I can only help someone to the level that they're willing to show up for themselves. I can only give someone the tools that will help them down the path, but if they don't use those tools, then I can only take them so far. So really the ultimate question here that I'm asking is, if you are someone who wants some sort of result in your life, and I'm assuming because you're watching one of my videos, that would probably be a health related result, what are you willing to do to get there? And when it gets tough, are you willing to dig in and start to realize, the ways that self-sabotage may be coming up for you in a very subtle way? It can be very sneaky. It can be kind of disguised as other things. It can feel it's kind of insidious how self-sabotage sneaks into our lives. So, the next time you find yourself making excuses for something, the next time you find yourself saying, oh yeah, that's going to have to wait a few weeks because I got X, Y, and Z, and, I didn't do my homework because, A, B, and C, it's time to take a step back and look at that and see, are those things really legitimate, or are those convenient ways that you can make an excuse for yourself? So I hope this was a helpful little eye-opener for some of you. And if you feel like somebody might benefit from seeing this video and might need to hear this message about self-sabotage, hey, I do it too. Like, I don't want to pretend that I've never self-sabotaged, but a lot of times now I learn to kind of step back, and it's like, if I'm not going to do that, what's the real reason? Like, I look at it in the light of day. Like, is it because I really don't believe that I need to do that? Is it because I don't want to? Is it because I'm afraid I'll do it and it won't work? Because that's another big thing that can come up in a healing process. Is it's like, well, so if I put in all of this legwork and I do all the things and I do the homework and I make the lifestyle changes, what if I still don't get the results that I want? Then what? And that, I think, is one of the core fears that can come into play in this pattern of self-sabotage. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to hearing your comments and your feedback on what jumped out at you from this. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and see you soon. All right, bye for now.